a couple of months now, that being Teen Turns, Idyllic Magazine, and The Growing Souls. It hasn't been long enough since I started working with Brainy. It is a mental health organization, and that was the reason how I became an entrepreneur.
Everybody, welcome back to the channel. For those people who've already been to the channel, hi. For those who doesn't know me, hi, I'm Hasini Lakshminarayanan. I'm a 13-year-old blogger, a YouTuber, a host, and a writer. I am the founder of The First Step, which is a non-profit organization where we, as a team of 12 children, aim to inspire, motivate, and empower children. And also, in addition to this, I run a blog, and we launched a new series recently called The World of Seven Lines. And I am a freelance writer for the Hindu School edition and the Brainy magazine, and I'm a TED speaker. So now, apart from this, I am a host, and I've done seminars with a lot of schools and colleges, which basically speak on the first step matters. The first step is supported by the CIT, Chennai Institute of Technologies, which is the number 2 engineering college in Tamil Nadu, India. And now, to welcome our guest for the day, we have Sanskriti Jain, who is a young mastermind, a 15-year-old who is the founder of 3 organizations, respectively Idyllic Magazine, Growing Souls, and Teeners. Now, not only this, but also she is an amazing writer. She's an author of a book called The Butterflies, and also she is a digital and creator. And apart from this, she loves programming, and she's involved into many other fields, which includes basketballs and sports. A very, very talented person, and I'm very, very curious to hear from her, and hope you are as well. So without no further delay, let's welcome her together. Sanskriti Jain, who aims for youth empowerment and development. So yeah, I'm very, very proud to say that, because I can see somebody else who's there on the same time. Just that we work on different scenarios and situations, but more or less we work for the same thing. So yeah, happy to see you. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Welcome. Hi.
Hi everyone, my name is Sanskriti, and I'm a 15-year-old teenager who believes in youth empowerment. I am the founder of Teen Turns, Idyllic Magazine, and The Growing Souls. These all organizations works in the empowerment of youth. And apart from that, I'm a writer. I recently published my book. It's a poetry book called Butterflies, and my hobbies include listening to music, writing, basketball, and playing guitar. And programming also.
Great. So yeah, now we good to move on to the intro. Let me start off with my very first question. So you own 3 organizations, which is insane, right? Having one in hand is a huge task, that too at a very young age, but handling 3 organizations, hats off to you. So now let's come back to the question which I was asking. So respectively, Teeners, Idyllic Magazine, and Growing Souls. So I now request you to brief about all of these 3 associations. How does it work? When was this? When did this initiative started? And what do you vision and aim for the association? And also, what you have achieved through the association, and how people were benefited with the association. So yeah, probably you can go one by one. Yeah, over to you.
Okay, so I've been running 3 organizations for a couple of months now, that being Teen Turns, Idyllic Magazine, and The Growing Souls. So Teen Turns is a platform where we connect high school students to organizations. It's a platform where high school students can find remote internships and volunteer opportunities provided by non-governmental organizations and non-profit organizations. And another organization that I've been running is The Growing Souls. The Growing Souls is an online mental health organization where we try to promote mental health and raise awareness about the same. We also work as a support group, so where anyone can talk to us anytime. And the last organization and the recent one that I started is Idyllic Magazine. Idyllic Magazine is a non-profit digital magazine where we provide a space to youth where they can express themselves through any form of art. So the very first organization that I started was the Growing Souls. So the Growing Souls is a mental health organization. The reason why I started it was that I faced some mental health issues myself in the past, and I wanted to help others with the same. I wanted to help others, the teenagers who were suffering from the same problem as I did. This is how I started the Growing Souls. And the second organization was Teen Turns. So Teen Turns formation partially depended on the Growing Souls. So before starting Teen Turns, I was already running the Growing Souls. The problem was that I was unable to find interns and volunteers for my organization. I wanted a platform where organizations could find high school students, interns and volunteers. Another reason for starting Teen Turns was, as a student, I faced struggles working in an organization because every organization wants college students, right? Because they think we are not skilled enough. That were the two reasons why I started Teen Turns. After starting Teen Turns, I realized that there were many organizations that wanted to hire high school students. These were the two reasons I felt Teen Turns would be beneficial for organizations as well as high schoolers. My vision when I started my organization was to help others in one way or another. Through Teen Turns, my aim was to connect organizations to skill high school students who can help them achieve their goals. On the other hand, the Growing Souls were started to help teenagers who were struggling from mental health issues such as anxiety and stress. Through Teen Turns, we were able to provide internships to over 200 students, high schooler students, and 50. We are partnered with 50 organizations. So we were able to connect 200 students with over 50 organizations. That's how I started my organization.
Amazing, and I hope that, of course, see, first things first, one thing which attracts me the most in most of the interviews which I do is children. That's people like you, especially you, right? You think from a teenager point of view, where what does a child require at this age? What did I miss and what did I go through, which I expect people to go through, and what probably they can do to get over these situations. So talking about Growing Souls, first thing. So first I want to connect to this. Then also the other two association which you hold, right? So it again aims for a child development, or for a child to become better and experience more. So that's something really great, because you vision or expect when you want to create an association from a child point of view. So that's amazing. Again, great initiative. Hats off to you for that. So yeah, congratulations, all the best. Best wishes from me. I have no other word to express how I feel right now, because I'm very, very happy to know about the association itself, because it is something which runs for a cause to help children. And so as I aim for child empowerment and development. So yeah, it's not that similar, but of course we run for the same cause. So I'm happy about having you here on the show, first off.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here too.
Great about that. So my next question is, apart from entrepreneurship, you're also a digital creator, right? And you've done many internships, and you've been a volunteer to many other associations, if I'm right. So another role which you play as is a graphic designer at Brainy. So if you can tell us about that, what kind of role do you play being a graphic designer, what kind of work you do? That's my next question.
So it hasn't been long enough since I started working with Brainy. It is a mental health organization and also an upcoming app. My roles at Brainy are to make Instagram posts for them. It helped me as a person working with Brainy as well, because the content they make at Brainy has truly helped me with my mental health too. So before working at Brainy I was making Instagram posts for the growing souls for my organization. That's how I started working in this field. So that made me excited or curious about knowing other organizations too. That's why I started working at Brainy Bones.
So yeah, of course, even digital handling also does play a role. And of course, when you do internships, right, you tend to learn a lot, which I'll come back to in the later part of the interview. So yeah, I'll move on to my next question now. So apart from designing or being an intern or being a volunteer or being an entrepreneur, right? You're also a creative writer, right? So you are an author of a poetry book called Butterflies. So tell us about the book itself. When did you start writing? When you realized that you had a passion towards writing, and about some sweet lines or some memorable lines, if you can share about the poem, it will be delightful.
So during the lockdown, as every other kid, I too was bored. I started exploring many things like reading books and poetries, of course. That's how I found my passion towards writing. I started writing poetries, and I remember sending them to my English teacher and asking her that if my poems are good enough. So that's how I started writing my poems, and after 6 months of writing continuously, I had enough poems to compile them and publish them as a book. That's how I wrote my book. One of my poem from the Butterflies is her walls were thick, but she was weak. Her house was made up of glass, but she was turning it into bricks. So this is I write very short poems. So this is the one from my book Butterflies.
Even though it's pretty short, right? It's very good. And of course, it does definitely have a very big meaning in it. So yeah, hats off to that as well. And great. So when you say a child is multi-talented, right? Of course, she or he will also have to deal with her studies, especially you being in 11th grade right now, right? So next, you might have your boards next year. Of course, studies is very important. You'll have to prioritize that. You can't probably avoid studies or something. So how do you manage time between both school and studies, especially when everything is going online now? And one more thing is, you just can't be focusing on studies alone, or particularly your entrepreneurship writing, or probably graphic designing. You also have your own childhood experience, right? That is to spend time with your friends, hanging out with them, having chit chats and stuff like that. So yeah, how do you manage time between all of these?
So this question has been asked to me very frequently. I think before starting anything, everyone should learn time management. The one thing that has helped me manage my time was planning my day first thing in the morning. Keeping to-do lists has helped me because it helps me figure out the things that I have to do on a particular day. So for me, planning my day is what helps me managing times. And of course, it's hard for me to manage my studies as well as non-profit organizations and everything. But planning my day before starting anything, the first thing in the morning I do is plan my day, and that's how I manage my time.
Amazing. I would want to probably prioritize things. For example, if I'm going to have studies, right? Exams, I would probably study. Or if I have an event around, I'll probably prepare for that. Or if I'm going too free, then I'll probably want to get all of my stress out by going outside, spending some time. So yeah, because I am very bad at planning and time management. That's the only reason I don't do it. Because at this point, I know it isn't going to work out. But I also remember to complete my works at time. See, this is not only for the children who are into entrepreneurship or into any other field who's being a young achiever, but to all those other children, right? Because you have to probably learn time management before starting anything. That's truly said. I agree with you. So, one interesting question, if I can say, what really prompted you to get into entrepreneurship?
This other day, I was watching one video of a teenager who started his non-profit at 15, at the age of 15. So my before starting with any organization, I worked as an intern or volunteer with a few organizations. My experiences with working with other organizations helped me grow as a person, to see the world with a different perspective and develop my passion towards helping others. So I too wanted to do something of my own and help others from whatever I can do. So my passion for helping others really prompted me to become an entrepreneur, and that's why I started my organizations. But before starting all of them, I worked as an intern or volunteer, as I said. So it's really important to gain some experience before starting your anything of your own.
Of course, true. I was about to ask that next. How did internships and being a volunteer really help you, um, to improve? If yes or no, tell me why. But I guess you answered the question beforehand. But that's totally fine. It happens. But now coming back to entrepreneurship, or even you take any field, right? You want to know about that particular field. That's being an intern, because that's the crucial time when anybody can learn a lot, because you get to learn from your experienced people or the people you're watching. And doing internships are particularly very, very fun. Yeah, I've done not a plenty, but a good number of internships myself, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, before getting into any particular field, just know about it, and you would definitely need some knowledge. And I guess that's mostly provided by doing internships. So yeah, it necessarily is a good thing to do. Now, one more question which I had is, before we can move on, if you can tell me, why did you want to become an entrepreneur? What really attracted you towards entrepreneurship?
So, as I stated in earlier question, that I was working with other organizations, and that's how I developed my passion towards helping others. I was bored in lockdown, and as every other kid, we all were bored. So I started exploring things, and that's how I started getting internships. I started applying to many organizations, and I worked as a mental health listener in one of the organization, and that's how I got to know that how many people struggle to reach out, but they don't have anyone to reach out to, their friends or families. That's why they start visiting these sites online. That's how I started my organization. That's what prompted me to start something of my own to help others, because we as a teenager struggle to talk to adults, and it has happened with me too, that talking to someone or reaching out to someone is really hard when you're struggling with problems. So that's why I started working in organizations, especially in mental health organizations, and that was my first experience. I worked as a listener in 7 Cups. I still am working, and that's how I started my organization, and then that's what really helped me, and that was the reason how I became an entrepreneur.
Truly said, of course. There is one turning point for everybody, and I guess that really started for you from an internship. And listening, right? It's a great skill. I don't want to take a lecture on that right now. So probably let's move on for now. And yeah, amazing, inspiring journey. And for me as well, I don't know if you know my journey, but it also started up during the lockdown. So now, we now know you as an entrepreneur, a teen entrepreneur, a creative writer, and also a designer, right? That's a digital or a graphic designer. But apart from this, who is Sanskriti? Like a child who's home, or what are your other hobbies? What do you like to do when you're general or available? that's when you feel, or probably what gives you happiness? Because for me, I love doing art, so I love, probably painting, something like that. So yeah, that would be my next question.
So apart from my work side, I really like listening to music. I also write, and that's my passion, writing. And I also play some sports. So I do basketball. I was in my school team till ninth grade, and after that, the lockdown happened. So I really like listening to music, writing, and I love to play basketball, and I love spending time with my family and friends. It's really important for us to take some time out from our busy life and give it to our loved ones. So I really like spending time with my family and friends.
One unique answer which I guess I've heard ever, because usually people talk about their own interests. I like to do sports. Of course, many people say that I love listening to music, because that's one common thing every teenager would like to do, right? I love music. I'm addicted to it. It's one thing which drives me crazy, but spending time with our loved ones, creatively said, and happy to know that. First off, I guess people should learn from it. When you realize that you don't have anybody to talk or interact with you, that's when you realize that I didn't do it to my loved ones. So I guess it's one thing which I have learned in pandemic, sticking to the same faces, But yeah, spending time with your family, with your friends, especially your loved ones, your well-wishers, is more and foremost important, and that not only gives you happiness but also makes them feel comfortable being with you. So yeah, it's a good thing to do when you feel special. So yeah, another thing which I usually invite ask people is probably, who is your inspiration or role model whom you look up to, and what are your future plans?
So my inspiration is probably my mom. She's very hardworking, and she does everything for our own good. And I really love how she works for us. She doesn't care about herself, and she always care about me and my brother. I have a little brother, so she's always looking after us. And my inspiration is my mom and my dad. Of course, he works hard for our family, and they really inspire me to do something of my own, to be myself. And my future plans, I aspire to become a tech entrepreneur, because I love programming as well. So I am into tech. And another thing that I want to do is contribute in this world using my skills and knowledge. I aspire to be molded into far open-minded person with a diverse worldview. Hopefully one day I can be in a position of influence and positively impact the world.
And yeah, I do wish for the same, that it happens by the shining star, as I mentioned, Sanskriti. All the best for that, and I hope all of the wishes which you dream for happens with you. So yeah, I'm happy to know that there is also another friend who is there to support me on the same line, and yeah, happy to know you. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and being present here, and hope to see you again on the channel, promoting videos and stuff. Probably we can be in touch and get connected with more. And to those people who are watching this video, if you find this video inspiring and interesting and insightful here, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and also don't forget to turn on your post notifications, because you don't have to miss another video from the channel. Until then, yeah, before I can sign off, please don't forget to support our blog, our website, and all of our social handles, which include Instagram and LinkedIn, and also YouTube. Please subscribe, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The comment box will always be there. You can tell me your feedback and whom I should interview next. And one question which I have for all of you right now would probably be, if you can tell me one personality whom you have been inspired by the most, it'll be easy for us to do a new content for the Word of Seven Lines, which is our new series. Support us there as well. For now, signing off, it's Sanskriti here and Hasini. I'll see you next week. Bye.